Good morning, everyone, and a warm welcome to Sadhguru Sang Meet. Today's 203rd virtual meet webinar will be about unlocking MSME growth, a deep dive into loan opportunities and financial analysis. Speaker for today's topic is Mr. Samir Chaudhary, and the presentation will be covering introduction to MSMEs and their importance, types of MSME loan and government scheme, eligibility and documentation for MSME loans, financial analysis for loan readiness, strategies to leverage loans for business growth, monitoring and compliance for loan repayment, followed by question and answer session. The agenda for today's Sadhguru Sang Meet will be virtual inauguration by Dr. Sundar Kataria sir, evoking the blessings of deity by chanting Gayatri Mantra, introduction to the speaker by me, presentation by our today's speaker, Mr. Samir Chaudhary, followed by question and answer sessions, and the closing session. Dr. Sundar Kataria sir has with an initiative to start, he started an initiative to start Sadhguru Sang, was convinced and led by Dr. Sundar Kataria sir, driven with a mission to elevate the quality, safety, and environmental awareness levels of industry. Sadhguru Sang is a series of educative, informative events aiming to illuminate professionals on possible solutions to current issues of industry and economy. Dr. Sundar Kataria is a chairman and managing director of International Certification Services Private Limited. His academic qualification is doctorate in business management and mechanical engineering. His experience is vast, starting with Rajasthan Atomic Power Projects, which was India's first nuclear power plant, RAPP, at Rawalpindi, Kota, built by Indian engineers, worked as nuclear scientist for 11 years and successfully completed and commissioned the plant. His experience also involves at Engineers India Private Limited, which is the first batch of engineers to develop the Bombay High Offshore Oil and Gas Fields, mega offshore complex platform, front and submarine pipelines, underwater inspection and indigenization oil and gas equipment, etc. Then Norway Verista World, that was largest classification society, where he worked for 17 years at various capacity for the certification of fixed offshore installations, submarine pipelines, onshore projects, and personal qualifications, underwater inspection drives. At ICS, he is the founder of India's first certification conformance assessment body, established in the year 1999, provider of total quality solutions, certification of management systems, ISO, inspection, testing and training qualifications of persons. Dr. Sundar Kataria sir's achievements and awards are: he has received a Lifetime Achievement Award for contribution for the corrosion technology from NICE International by NIGIS under NES US. He is also an active social worker for the protection of life, assets, and environment and safety. Now, Dr. Sundar Kataria sir for
आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
So please join us for the recitation of Gayatri Mantra.
Yo
Introduction to the today's keynote speaker. Designation and organization. Mr. Samir Chaudhary is a chartered accountant. His academic qualifications are: he is an MCom, LLB, Disha, area of specialization experience. He is a senior partner at Chaudhary Shah and Associates LLP. He is also qualified as independent director and founder trustee. He also runs a YouTube channel, Fintax Chanakya, which has gained over 4.5k subscribers, where he shares his expertise on various professional topics. Conducted over 550 webinars and seminars across various platforms. He has delivered lectures at various colloquiums like universities, ICAI, ICMAI, bar associations, corporates, etc. Please welcome today's speaker, Mr. Samir Chaudhary, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for inviting. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Dipti, ma'am. Thank you, all the respected members over there and all the person who have joined this seminar. Since we know that today's session is about the MSME and funding, and it both the things plays a major role in a working in today's era. Talking in some detailed manner on that part, we have selected few of the topics with a very beautiful presentation over here. I just want 1 minute of yours to manage the things. Just give me a 1 minute only. Thank you. Friends, till then I want to ask everyone kindly mention in a chat box what is meant by MSME as per you. Sundar sir, thank you for inviting and sorry to miss you out in my initial presentation. Sorry for that. Can anyone tell me what is meant by MSME in a chat box, or even if you want? You can also unmute yourself if it is allowed. I'm waiting for reply, friends. Yes. Because MSME has a very major role in today's era, and then we will start with the how we can get a loan, what is the process for that, and all these stuffs. Friends, when talking about MSME, let's discuss in detail on that part. And MSME means micro, small, and medium industries, which plays a major role in India's growth and even in employment criteria. Because if we are talking about the same, 80% of the population of India is thriving on a different part. And talking about this MSME part, micro, small, talking about that, we can say, friends, that still more than 60% industries is into MSME. Why that is the reason? Very simple thing if I want to convey you on that part, friends, because all the companies are not still went as a large company. Talking about that, I'm going to categorize the same into two parts, as per the investment in plant and machinery and as per the turnover of a company. When talking about the same, that how they works on, there we have to signify on few things. For example, For example, if I'm talking about the same, let's think where you are living. Just note, friends, at how many places and how many industries you have nearby. And if it is not a industrial area, you'll find a small business person everywhere near to you. Talking about the same, how we can say that? If you're talking about NSE and BSE, means company listed on NSE and BSE, you will find that all these companies who are listed over here are the large companies. Even in that, it categorizes into three parts. First, large. Second, mid corporate. Third, small. Even further that, now there is a SME.
Recording in progress.
Am I audible, friends? Am I audible, friends? Ma'am, am I audible? So if we are talking on the same about, we'll find that if it's a micro enterprise, investment up to rupees 1 crores and turnover up to 5 crores is said as a micro enterprise. Talking about the small enterprise, investment up to rupees 10 CR and turnover up to rupees 50 CR. So initially it was lower, but as per the amendment in the last year by the government, it has changed. And third, about the medium enterprise. Here, medium enterprise means the large enterprise as per MSME definition, which is investment is up to 50 CR and turnover is up to 250 CR. Sir, fine. How it makes an impact and how one can define that it is under MSME. It is called a Udhyam Aadhar Memorandum. Means there is a Udhyam registration is there, which you have to register, then only you can be defined as a MSME. So means if we are having a so much of a defined turnover, let's say having a turnover less than 1 CR and turnover is less than 5 CR, then also we cannot define as a micro enterprise. Yes, you are already a micro enterprise. But if you will register in the government portal, which is called a Udhyam registration, then only you can be categorized as per the government norms, and then all the benefit will be provided to you. Most important things, because these categories ensure that business receive financial assistance and support appropriate to their size and operations. Talking further on this thing, friends, what is the contribution of MSME to the economy? We know that India runs into an economy where we talks about GDP, we talks about NP and all these stuff. When talking about the same, GDP contribution is 30% to India's GDP of only MSMEs. So we were talking about large corporate, mid corporate, small corporate in NSE and BSE. Yes, it plays a major role. Talking about the top 5 companies or 5 groups of India, let's say Adani, Tata, Reliance, and more to you can add any Aditya Birla Group and anyone. They functions like anything and they contribute more than 50% in our India's GDP. But talking about MSME, they are much more in, I would say, quantity, and but it plays even 30% of India's GDP role. Talking about employment generation, it creates 45% of India's employment, which employs millions of people in urban as well as rural areas. Talking about exports, it contributes to 48% of India's exports, especially in sectors such as textile, handicraft, and leather. And friends, we know that these are the sectors where major chunks comes only for MSME only. And it plays a pivotal role in reducing regional disparities and promoting inclusive growth by supporting rural entrepreneurs in this side. Because we know that everyone talks about the larger players, but what about smaller player? So government focus much more on MSME. Now talking about the MSME, then what is loan? A question comes in our mind, and why there is a need of a loan. When talking about the same, that what is loan? So everyone thinks that loan is something I will go to bank and take it. Yes, it can be there, but there are few more points on that. When talking about the same, that what is loan? some questions comes in my mind always, which is, if you're talking about that what is loan, in loan part, let's define in a easy language. And I always says in Hindi, loan का दूसरा मतलब है, loan means ना लो. If there is a extreme need of taking a loan, you can take. So sir, even for a business, yeah, it you have to define that whether you need a loan or not. This is an extreme requirement in your business. Whether you're going to get benefit through loan by way of subsidy or something like that. If you're having a proper planning, it will be worth for you. Because once the loan starts, loan will always come with a principal amount to you, but you have to pay with interest. And if you are unable to repay that at the time given to you, there is a chances of having an NPA, and then your CIBIL will even get decreased. Then let's discuss about this journey in detail now. What is loans? You can see there are few books are kept over here which says about vehicle, property, personal business. But talking about the loan on that part, because these are few of the same. A loan refers to a borrowed sum, typically money that must be repaid with interest. I have told you that it defines two things, principal and interest. And if the loan is for longer term, you will find that you are paying more interest than a principal amount. It even involves money or goods to another party in exchange for future repayment. You will going to repay in the future, which includes interest. And so what about these finance charges? If I'm talking about financial charges, it can be a processing fees from bank side, agreement side, mortgage charges we have been to the government on that part, advocate fees, and many more. And we are going to discuss this thing in detail in some amount of time. It can be for specific one-time amount or as a open credit with a set of a limit given to you. Now let's discuss what is the need for a loan. When talking about the need for a loan, friends, it defines few things. For example, to acquire a new property, when talking about a new property, friends, it can be your commercial property. Home loan means property, residential property, a said purchase. It can be even some resort purpose. It can be even some go down purpose. It can be any kind of property. But yes, the nature of loan, the category of a loan, the interest rate, the foreclosure charges is going to change. I'm even going to discuss about the 5 golden points one should consider when taking any kind of loan to meet day-to-day business needs, means we can even say as a working capital loan, to meet personal needs and expenditures, means I would say a personal loan on that part. For expansion and growth of a business, means once the business have been started, now I want to expand my business, so at that point of time I will take a loan to acquire any kind of machinery, friends. Even further that on that part, to low interest rates than outside loans. For example, when I became CA, I came to know that my family work hard and they have taken loan from some Sarafi, means an outside person, which is at higher rate of interest. So since I became CA, it's a talk before a decade, I would say. When I became CA, I came to understand that no, this work can even be done through some bank. So I approached banks. I have taken a loan at a lower interest rate and repay them. So this work can be done in anyone's family and anywhere. And so you can use this. So why to take loan from a banks? It's in a white. So sometimes people do not have a, I would say legible income in their books or a white income in their books. So they can use that. They can get a benefit of a tax. Most important thing, because once you take a loan and you are a businessman, you are getting the benefit of a tax, that tax on the interest part you are paying to the bank. And even you build up your credit history on that part, and even maintain a control in business. So there are different things, different way people take loans. There are further things to make an export, to make an import. So different things also they can have that. Types of loans and government schemes, because people have in their mindset and have always have a query. So what are the types of loan and what are the government schemes we have to take care when taking in kind of loan? Friends, it's worth knowing to about the same, that what kind of loan a person should take. When talking about types of loans, there are two types of loan, friends. About the security, then we'll consider about the funding, and at the end use. But two types of loan majorly are secured and unsecured. Talking about the further, the any kind of loan where security is offered to the financial institute. Here, in my language, financial institute involves bank, any kind of bank. It can be nationalized, private, cooperative, even NBFC will be included in that, and even any kind of institute which gives you a finance. Yes, friends. So it can be where you are offering some security to them. Now, on talking about security, there are two types of security, friends. One is a primary security, second is a collateral. Talking about primary security means when I'm taking any kind of loan and a security which is attached to that. Let's say I'm purchasing any kind of machinery, I'm giving that machinery offering to the bank. So the loan is taken for that machinery, and we are mortgaging or we are hypothecating that machinery to a bank. Then it is called a machinery loan, and machinery is considered as a primary security. But let's say bank tells you that for you are telling me a machinery, it's very good. But kindly note, friend, machinery is a kind of a thing. Machinery is a kind of a thing which is a movable property. Today you have purchased a machinery, taken a loan from that, and after 1 year, if you have some malicious intentions, or after 6 months even, you can transfer the machine to some other place and your account gets NPA. How a bank can trace you? I cannot install a GPS in all the machineries, and my work is not to have become a detective or CID on that part. So they may ask you that what more security you can offer. And when talking about more security, friends, if talking about more security, then that security is called, that such a security is called, friends, collateral security. Means a security extra that is required, that is given, is called a collateral security. Hope that is clear on your part, friends. In case of any query, you can type on a chat box. I promise you to reply all your questions, friends. Talking further on funding base, or let's come before that, unsecured. What is unsecured loan? Any kind of loan or finance where security is not offered. Very easy, friends. That is called an unsecured loan. Then talking about funding, funding means there are two types of loan. One is a fund based, second is a non-fund based. Talking about phone, phone आ गई अंदर ले लो ना. Sorry, friends. Talking about the same, there are two types of loan. One is a fund based, second is a non-fund based. When money is involved, sir, loan means the money is involved. Means you are getting an actual money in your account. That is called a fund based. When you are not getting a money, but bank offers you some guarantee, some, I would say guarantee, I would even say you that some security is given on your behalf, then it is called a non-fund based. But since bank is giving you this guarantee, and if you're not repaying same or you're not committing to the word what is there, then obviously it is called a non-fund based loan. So now have understood about security, funding. Let's come to the third part. That is called the end use of a loan. It will be business loan and personal loan. Talking about the business, we are talking about MSME, friends. So business is the core area in our discussion. So on that part, friends, business loan means a term loan. What is this term loan? Let's define that. If I'm taking any kind of loan and I have to make the repayment of the loan in EMI basis or on a monthly basis. So sir, what is meant by EMI? When we're talking about some mutual funds or something like that about the SIP, so people always ask me, sir, EMI and SIP is common? I always say it is similar, not common. When I want to repay something to a bank and it is even in a on a same date with the same amount, that is called EMI, that is equal monthly installment. Then sir, what about SIP? Means systematic investment plan, the same thing, but here I'm not repaying the same, I'm investing the things, nothing else. So in term loan, so that amount is going to come in my account. Yes, friends, but that can be possible in your account, but mostly in case of term loan, it goes to the party from whom we are dealing. with a third party. Let's say I'm purchasing any kind of property. I'm purchasing any kind of machinery. So the vendor from whom we are purchasing that will be repaid to them. That is called a term loan. So please note, if even it is going or moving that fund to some other party, but money is involved in that, so it is considered as a fund-based loan. And if since mostly term loan can be considered if as a mortgage loan or a hypothecated loan. But yes, even there is a personal loan, means an unsecured loan on that part. Second is a working capital loan. Sir, some client comes to me, they says, sir, around the year, there are 3 cycles in my business where we need money. Else there is not a requirement of a money and the money keeps in my account idle only. But sir, for this 3 cycle means a period of 5 to 6 months, we require extensive money. And if you're taking a term loan on that part, let's say if you're taking a term loan from a bank, so around the year we have to pay EMI, around the year we have to pay the interest, then we are incurring a loss on that. But sir, can you offer me something where जब मेरी इच्छा हो मैं पैसे यूज करूं, I will use the fund whenever it is required for me. So I say yes, that can be possible. Then they ask, sir, how it can be possible? So I'm offering them about a working capital loan. The word itself says loan for working capital, means for using during my day-to-day activity for my business. Sir, good, fair enough. So sir, talking about this working capital, so how can I get that process? We are going to discuss on a later stage. But there are 3 types of working capital normally. First is a cash credit. That is even in a normal parlance, people used to say as a CC account. So then what is this CC account? So very simple. If we are talking about CC account, CC means cash credit. Means it is given against my paid stock and receivables. Some margin is deducted from that. I'm not going, since there is a paucity of time, it's already 11:35 and I need to complete by 12:30 and there are many things to discuss. I'm going to give you a gift at the end. So all these parlance, all these terms you can understand very easily, friends, with the difference between both. Second is a means in CC, kindly note you have to submit a stock statement to a bank every time. Talking about overdraft facility. So overdraft means I don't need to submit any kind of stock statement to bank. No any drawing power limit is considered. Means once a loan has been offered to me by a bank or financial institute, I will use Meri Marji. As such, as per my wish, I can use that. Bank is not going to change my limit every time. So what about the third part you're talking about? Yes, friends. The third part is quite different. And talking about the third part, it's very much important one, because sometimes people says, and really we get that point among the people, that they always says ki sir, if you are talking about the third part, so if you are talking about the third part, it sometimes happens that in third case I need to repay the loan, but because it's a overdraft facility or CC facility, means a working capital, sir, I am unable to pay that on a regular basis, and hence my loan limit is not getting down. Sir, what can I do? And even bank have noted that. Financial institute have noted that because of this purpose, once the loan has been given, even they are using or not using, they're not repaying them the loan. Then what to do? So they have come with a third approach that is called a drop line overdraft facility. So what? Yes, it means drop line. Line is dropping in a overdraft facility, means it's a mix up of a term loan or a working capital, means a hybrid version. So how it works? It simply works on the basis, friends, that a loan will be awarded to you. You have a capacity, or I would say that it's up to your wish how much loan to be used at what time. Means if I have a limit of 1 crore rupees, let's say in my loan account, if I want, I can use a loan amount of a 50 lakh, I can use a loan amount of 30 lakhs, and even I can use a loan amount of a 20 lakhs. But if I want to reduce my loan amount or bank wants that I should repay in a regular basis, means just like a term loan facility, every month some loan amount will be reduced from me. Let's say it is for, let's say I have a loan amount of 1 crore 20 lakh rupees and it is for 10 years. So every month a 1 lakh rupees will be deducted from my loan amount. That is for sure. So great. Now we are aware about all these three facilities. So what's the difference between all these three? Not now, we'll guide you later on that part. Talking about later, bank guarantee or letter of credit. What is this, friends? I went to some government organizations for putting some tenders or something like that, or there is some new customer for me who don't know how I am working, what is my level of working and all this stuff. So when he comes to me, he says, Samir bhai, I know about the Chaudhary and Associates LLP. It's a bigger firm. It has 8 partner firm and having a various place of locations. But please note, we had a bad experience in the past, and if you want to work together, I need some third party guarantee from you. Or how can you immunize me for long term? So I would say, sir, don't worry. Let me help you. I will approach my bank and say, there is this issue. How can it be solved? Then what they will say, so don't worry on that part. We will give you guarantee. We'll give a guarantee to a banker on your behalf. Means they will give a guarantee to that organizations on my behalf that if they want any kind of lacuna in a service or something like that, they will pay the money to that as a bank guarantee it is saying. So what is letter of credit? Very simple. If I'm going to purchase any product outside India, let's say I went to Singapore. I got that some good services there, some goods is there, good goods is there, which can be used as a business, as my stock or my business part. I went over there. I asked them, I need these goods. They says, wow, great. What is the value of that? They say 10,000 rupees only. I said, I want one container. And the value of that container is, let's say, 1 crore rupees. So they say, okay, sir, you will get delivery in a 2 months. Sir gives us some advance. I paid him 10 lakh rupees. He said, sir, I will send you goods. But what is a guarantee that you are going to pay me that amount? And you will find, friends, at multiple places, such query comes into picture. That's a what is a guarantee that you are going to repay me because I'm not going to come to India again for this purpose. So there is a question. Even now, I have a question in my mind. Already 10% of the amount have been paid to him as advance. If I repay him all the money and he doesn't deliver goods to me, I'm not going to go at Singapore. And अगर परदेसी जगह है तो फ्रेंड्स काइंडली नोट कि वहां पे रिकवरी बहुत मुश्किल होगी कि इंडिया में ही रिकवरी करना मुश्किल होता है व्हाट अबाउट फॉरेन कंट्रीज then I approach my bank and they give me a solution to that. Sir, I will issue a letter of credit. Please note the word LC, it is said in normal parlance. Sir, I will give a letter of credit. You give them. And once a goods arrived at you, we will release this money. That is called the LC amount. If you remember, a fantastic fraud case, because many times I talk about forensics and frauds. So when talking about that, there's a fantastic case of Gitanjali James. If you remember PNB scam, which is more approx 14,000 CR for the person named Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi in the way back in the year 2018-19. So that was a case of letter of credit only, or I would say LOU, that is letter of undertaking. Sir, fair enough. You discuss about business loan. What about personal loan? There are two types of that. Purpose, for specific purpose, for general purpose. Security is not offered over there. So, sir, for business, even we get this loan, yes, unsecured loan is available to people, but people think since unsecured loan is there, what's the difference between that? So the security part makes a difference, and even a rate of interest and processing fees and insurance increases because bank needs more guarantee on that part. So what are the few loans? Please define that. You can see with the help of picture very easily, friends. Home loan, it shows that we are creating a home. Education loan for some degrees of university, something like that. Personal loan, it can be a anniversary part, it can be anything, it can be for marriage, anything it can be workful. Mortgage loan means for mortgaging any kind of property. Car loan, and at the end, business loan. And please note, loan for business should be used for growing a tree and not destroying a tree. Most important point I always say to people. So already discussed about secured unsecured loan. Let's get a flashback of that. Here the security is given against some asset, means a car or property. Don't have any assets or for collateral. These loans may be more difficult to get and have high interest rates. In the event of loan default, the lender can take possession of the asset and use it to cover the loan. But here, unsecured loan relies solely on your credit histories, and bank is at higher risk here in unsecured loan. The asset may need to be appraised before you can borrow a secured loan. Here, in case of default, the lender has to exhaust collection options, including debt collectors and lawsuit, to recover the loan. The NPA percentage is always high in unsecured loan compared to secured loan. Kindly note, friends. Already discussed fund-based loan, non-fund-based loan. Fund-based credit is the any credit facility which involves direct outflow of bank's fund to borrowers. And here it is a credit facilities where there is no involvement of a direct outflow of bank's funds on account of borrower rather than the outflow of a bank's funds on account of third party or on behalf of borrower. Two types is all types of loan, which includes cash credit, overdraft packing credit. In this part, we can say as a letter of credit, bank guarantee, buyer credit, and supplier's credit. Term loans, short term, mid term, and long term, which means that short term, mid term, long term, if I'm talking about, so it is all about it is less than 1 year, short term, medium term, 1 to 3 years, more than 3 years, means it will be long term. Talking about now government schemes in a loan. There are major three types of schemes that is working. One is the PMMY, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. This scheme offers loans to non-corporate, non-farm or small or micro enterprise. Now Mudra loan scheme can be availed about 50,000, 5 lakhs, 10,000, which have now been enhanced to 20 lakh rupees by the government. No any kind of security is allowed over this. CGT MSE means Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for micro and small enterprise, which provides collateral-free loan to MSMEs, which reduces the need for borrowers to pledge assets and encourage banks to lend more to MSMEs. Third, Stand Up India scheme. I'm not talking about startups. Many times I used to talk about startups, but here it is Stand Up India. Means if it's a new businessman, means in finance language, it is said as a greenfield project. Greenfield means such a field where greenery is seen, but no any experience is looked at, which encourages for them, means to stand up that person, that businessman. It encourages marginalized communities to become business owners with easier access to finance and support. Kindly note, friends, many times bankers have a pressure on them that they used to give these schemes, offer these schemes, but with some securities. All these securities can be available with an unsecured basis, means without offering any security. But many times bank doubts that they're not giving you because they have a chance of a more NPA. Now, what kind of financial analysis is required for loan readiness? First and most important is a cash flow management. That how you're going to use your fund and what are the lenders look for you. If talking about the same, friends, if talking about the same, in talking about cash flow management, lenders want to see consistent cash inflows that can comfortably cover loan EMIs. So when you're going to take any kind of term loan, friends, during this term loan, even we ask banker, we want banker see that how much money we are earning on regular inflow so that it can cover my EMI part. Second is debt to equity ratio, most important. Ideal ratio is set as a 2:1. Means if there is a debt of 1, equity should be a 2 part. The 2:1 ratio, that's meaning for every rupees 2 of debt, the company should have an equity of 1. Means there is a debtors means a equity or a own fund should be at least one against rate of two. But many times bank even accepts quite low ratio if it is available. Means even up to 3:1 or 4:1, many banks used to go. But very few banks are there. Talking about lenders' perspective, a high debt to equity ratio signals high financial risk and might lend to loan rejection or high interest rates. Talking about the same friends, now banking facility plays a major role. I used to do work with mostly all the banks and all the national banks are our client. I would say mostly all the nationalized banks. Yesterday I was sitting with State Bank of India, and during that visit to my State Bank of India visit, we offered some loan to a bank. They said, sir, you will give you a soft sanction. Means I would say soft sanction means pre-approved sanction within 1 hour. And banker was too much good. We were asking for a loan of let's say 5 crores from them. So they said, so there is an offer, means there is a scheme where you can get a sanction letter within 1 hour if loan is up to 5 CR. So we have asked for 4.9 CR. They're happy. Sir, you will not believe. They have asked me a documents which were available with me of my clients, and he worked within 40 minutes all the things. So even a bank like SBI where we says that it's a bad bank or it works slowly, that is not the work, but it makes an impact that with whom we are dealing and what is the nature of officer. Further is about a credit score reassessment. Means credit score means people thinks that CIBIL is a credit score. CIBIL is a company. There are even more companies like that. For example, Equifax and many more. And talking about this, people, I always used to say, people are concerned about their actual kundli of this hand, but people are least concerned about their financial kundli. And financial kundli makes an impact on your life. Sir, how and why? So very simple. If you are talking about your financial kundli, means your credit score, you can get a loan and you can be rejected for a loan. Mostly the total score allowed is from 900. And if person have, let me ask you one question. Let's say there are 41 participants which I am looking at, including me. Let me ask you a very silly questions if you can reply. Let me understand that how many of you are actually listening because it's a virtual part. A webinar is there. That if I have not taken any kind of loan or I don't have any kind of credit history, what will be my CIBIL score at that time? Friends, reply in a chat box. If I do not have any kind of credit history, means I haven't taken any kind of credit card, any kind of loan, what will be my CIBIL score or my credit history out of 900? Waiting for you, friends. Let's see who have this knowledge on that part. Now coming back to our questions, that score above 750 is usually considered good for loan approval. And if it is more than 800, it seems to be fantastic. If it is less than 650, mostly bank used to reconsider this thing, please note. A higher credit score leads to more favorable loan terms, including lower interest rates. A lower could result in loan rejections or even a higher cost. Yes, two friends have replied, waiting for others. Talking about the fourth one, that is called a profitability analysis. Means how much profit that company will incur and then they will pay is the most important. So lender obviously assess the profitability of the business to ensure it can generate enough profit to cover loan repayments. Then talking about break-even analysis, that when the business will come in a break-even and how much at what time or what duration of time I would say the bank is going to get that money. Means the point at which the business revenue equals its cost, meaning no profit, no loss. That is called a break-even. Lenders assess how close the business is to break even or how long it will take to reach that point. Especially the loan is for expansion of the business. Collateral, I have already told you, and security part, assets that can be pledged as security against the loan, such as property, inventory, or receivables. what are the lenders' expectation on this part? In case where the loan is secured, lenders will evaluate the market value and liquidity of the collateral. So when we are talking about the valuation of any property, there are always a three type of valuation: market value, sold value, and liquid value. So liquid value is always normally 15 to 25% lower than the market value of a security, and it makes a difference when taking on that part. What are the strategies we need to leverage? Loan for business growth. Let's say how many people have replied. Two people. Yes, let me check. Nam Jikare have said zero. Jay Thakrar have said zero credit scores. Friends, let me remember, both answer is unfortunately wrong. Was zero credit score I have never seen in my life. So I'm going to reply great kudos to both the person name and Jay to reply. This answer is unfortunately wrong. If some other friends or some other members over here have the reply, kindly tell in a chat box, and then I'm going to reply to you within some time. Now, what are the strategies to leverage loans for business growth? These very list strategies I have shown you, friends. Hope you are going to appreciate this thing, that my team have taken a lot of pain to discover this thing and to prepare this. If I'm talking about this, you will find, friends, that strategies to leverage loans are as per the color you have to check. Just a moment, friends. Give me a moment, please. Friends, kindly refer this chart so that it will be easy for me to guide you. Yes, friends. Sorry for interruption. Yes, strategies to leverage loans are few. One is a marketing and advertising. Means for banks, even it is important to give a loan. For example, increase brand visibility, launch new campaigns, and target digital marketing for them. For expansion, how we can get expansion in a loan? Open new locations, enter new markets, and increase the product capacity. If we are increasing a product capacity, we enters in a new market. Let's say example that talking about Astral company, which were initially working. If you can remember, friends, Astral company was such a company which make a great improvement and great growth during these years. And when talking about this growth, what they did, they were working in, I would say, pipe business. If you have watched the movie Dabang, so Salman Khan was there, Nahab, handling some pipe written as a astral, and the price of the shares have increased. Now they are even into ceramic business. They are even into, I would say, this taps and all this business. Now even they have entered into color business. So what is this? Entering a new markets. So for that, such an expansion, you can ask bank for a loan. Open a new locations means if I'm working in the Ahmedabad itself, you can see that we have multiple branches. Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Jaipur, Kolhapur, Bangalore, London, UK. So if you are expanding, open a new location, you may need some fund. You can ask bank for such an expansion that I need a fund for that. Same here, that if you increase your visibility, you new launch new campaigns, target digital marketing, your business will be increased. You can ask bank for this purpose. And my turnover is increasing, my revenue is increasing, I need a loan for that. Strategies leverage loan asset acquisition. By acquiring any assets means purchasing of any kind of equipment, invest in some technology, or buy a real estate. All in all these three part, you require, you can ask bank to offer you a loan. For working capital purpose means it means personal demand, for cash flow requirement, smooth cash flow requirement, or a fund to fund or fund day-to-day operations. Means a working capital, smooth cash flow is the same thing, and seasonal demand. I have already told you in my example of a working capital when we are giving you a definition of that, that 3 season is in my business where we need money out of a year. I just want for 5 to 6 months. So working capital loan is required on that. Debt consolidation means I have already taken a loan from some bank or some institute, but my either my monthly payment is high, my I want to my improve my credit score, or my interest rate is very much high right now. So I want to either refinance with a high interest debt, means I have to reduce that, improve credit score, or reduce my monthly payment. So for all this, these are different strategies for a loan. What is important? You can see with this image, friends, that 3 people standing and working on that part. So leveraging loan for business growth is critical, and it enhances. Leveraging loans for business growth is critical as it enables business to expand their capacity, optimize working capital, and embrace digital transformation for them. By strategically using loans, business can diversify into new markets, upgrade infrastructure, and reduce financial risk. To be honest, friends, I would say that if I'm talking about a big businessmen, if they're into a listing of their shares, it is a kind of finance only, that they have diluted their equity with the public. Even other than that, I have, let's say if I have 300 clients with me, out of these 300 clients, if it's a big clients, mostly 90% of people have taken a loan. But how they utilize the same is a point to understand for everyone. Because if you're utilizing this loan strategically, your business can diversify in a new market, upgrade infrastructure, and even reduce the financial risk for you. And this approach ensures long-term sustainability for a business, competitiveness, and improved financial performance. Now, the next is monitoring and compliance for repayment. Before that, let me discuss on few things, that how the loan works and how a person can approach a bank to get any kind of loan. Let's say if you want to approach a bank for taking a loan, few things to consider immediately, and most important for you, that what kind of loan you want. Means you should know कि मुझे business loan लेना है, personal loan लेना है, whether it's a term loan or working capital loan, or whether it is something other. Something other means, sir, we need a loan that is a non-fund based or fund based. Let's say if some businessman needs a loan for purchase of a machinery and he approached bank for a working capital, everything will be declined on that part, because the category of loan which has been selected is wrong. If it's a project loan or what, you have to define on that part, friends. Then you will approach a bank, you will visit a bank, or you will call a customer line number or something like that. You click on the application of a bank and you approach a consultant like a chartered accountant or some other person who will help you to get a loan. Once you're going to get a loan over there, you approach them. The manager or the consultant will discuss with you all the things. He will guide you that what kind of loan is favorable for you, which bank you should approach on that. Once that is defined, the bank will have a conversation with you, a kind of a basic interview, I would say. Means you will introduce yourself to a banker because you are third party for them and maybe possible that they are not knowing you since long. Then you have to fill up the form, application form it is said, and you are going to submit the documents to banker. Once all these have been submitted, normally banker used to check your CIBIL score. That is a credit history of yours. It can be from any segment they want, but they will check that. And once they are going to check that, you will they will understand whether the party's credit is good, they can offer them a loan or not. Then they will check the financial statements, all these stuff, and they will visit your residence, your business premises. Please note, I am talking about the flow of a loan, how people is to get that. Once they will visit your premises, once you have given some quotations to them, they will have a third party due diligence for that. Why? Because they want to understand whether the quotation which has been given to the banker is correct, there no any manipulation is there in that, the rate is okay, and actually the party, the vendor is existing or not. All this process will be completed within few days or few hours by a banker, depending on the banker, and then they will process the fine. If you are giving some property to them, so that property is going to go in a valuation and a title clear. Means an advocate and a valuer will come into picture. You will take loan from them, you will get details from them. Then once the valuation report and title report comes in your favor, then banker will process for the sanction letter if everything goes well. Then after that sanction letter, they will go for a mortgage of a property. Means first of all, they will be sanctioning. In that sanction, both the party means a borrower and the banker will come into the same line of the terms and conditions. If they both agree, there will be agreement to them. After agreement, there will be mortgage of the property if any property is there. After that, the money will be disbursed to you. This is a process. And before disbursement, there is always a post loan or a pre-loan disbursement condition. If you pay that thing, you adhere with this norms, that can be done easily. Hope friends, it is okay the flow to you all. Waiting your reply in a chat box. If anyone have any query in this thing, I'm happy to discuss that thing even. Monitoring and compliance of a repayment. Coming to that point. When talking about the business loan, friends, there are few things a person should note. Because if bank is giving you a loan, we are a forensic auditor with few banks. We are stock auditor, we are concurrent auditor, we are statutory auditor. Last time we did statutory audit for a Bank of Baroda mid corporate branch of Ahmedabad division, which is one of second number branch if in Ahmedabad, I would say. So when we're doing that, so before when during my articleship days, I was asking the banker or my senior that sir, kindly let me know one thing, that if we are talking about the bank and you are should be happy that if party is not paying you a loan, क्या होगा? उसकी property आप जब्त कर लो, you enjoy that part. Then a very good point have been discussed to me by them, that we are not a property dealer, that we are just focusing on a property. Our work is to give a loan and taking back that money. If we go into that process, it makes a lot of time consuming for my purpose. Then I understood why bank is very much strict even when you're not getting an EMI. I'm going to discuss that why 80% NPA gets created by the borrowers. Once a loan approval is there, then they give a loan repayment plan. That is called a SOA, statement of accounts, or I would say repayment schedule. then they monitor the payment. If there is a payment, proper payment, then they collect payment data. If it's a missed payment, then they impose penalty and notify the borrower for that. Even they for check for the compliance check. Even if money is not received, it's a legal action, a loan is closed at the end. So very basic way on that part. What are the loan repayment compliance, friends? You can see a magnifying lens is kept in some computer and they are looking on a very detailed manner. Modern compliance for loan repayment are crucial to avoid penalties and maintain a financial health. Regular cash flow forecasting, automated EMI payments, and adhering to loan covenants ensure timely repayments and prevent defaults. Effective communication with lenders is essential to address changes and maintain transparency for any kind of loan. Now talking on few of the points before completing my session. And till then, friends, you can scan this thing and your feedback matters to me if you need to give any kind of feedback or connect to me. Friends, talking about that I have discussed you few things about the CIBIL score. That if the CIBIL score, there is no any kind of credit history, what will be the CIBIL score? It's not going to be 0, but it will be -1. Yes, friends, -1. It shows that a person who have went for getting a loan is not having any kind of credit history. Great. Then even I have discussed to you about the 5 important points, golden points for taking any kind of finance from any kind of bank or financial institute. Anyone who can tell me what are these 5 important golden points a person should understand? I'm going to discuss this in detail in 7 to 8 minutes, and then we will wrap up our session and will be open for a question and answer for you all. Friends, talking on that part, first point, the most important for us is the rate of interest. Means what rate of interest we are getting when getting any kind of loan. It whether it's a fluctuating or it's a fixed one. Means fluctuating fixed months means sometimes mostly I would say a financial institute like Tata offer you that we are giving you a loan rate of interest of let's say 12% or 8%, but whether the RBI repo rate MCLR gets on difference or not, it doesn't matter to them. But you will get the rate will be fixed for 8% only. Second, it's a fluctuating one, means when the rate of interest of a RBI changes, the repo rate, they will change subsequently. Great. Second is a fixed or reducing. Means sometimes many bank offers you that's a we are going to give you loan at 6% per annum. Then there was a friend of mine where we became chartered accountants after he was in industry, and after 4 years she called me and asked me that Samir, some NBFC offers me personal loan being a CA at 6% of interest rate. Should I take that? I would invest if even I am investing in my FD fixed deposit, I will get 7%. Then I said, madam, kindly understand one thing that if bank is not mad that if RBI rate or home loan is at 8.5% during that time, why they will offer you at 6%? Kindly check the EMI sheet, you will come to know. She has checked and she said, oh, I have been scared to see that. Means she checked that the loan rate was flat interest rate. Means it is not going to reduce with all the EMI payments, all the principal reduce. That is called a flat interest rate. And other is a reducing interest rate, means once how amount you are paying, your principal amount get reduced, the interest rate is going to reduce. So interest rate matters a lot to you. Mostly nationalized and good private banks, it's a competitive interest rate. Talking about the NBFCs, it is quite higher. Even cooperative bank is quite higher, but competitive rate is there. Kindly note, friends. Second most important part is a kind of loan you are taking. Because if let's say someone requires some mortgage loan where subsidy is available, and you select such a bank, mostly in NBFCs, in few of the NBFCs only you are getting a benefit, you are getting a benefit of subsidy. in other banks, you're not going to get a subsidy benefit. And if you are getting that thing, it is going to make a havoc for you, please note. Third, most important, about the processing fees and the charges levied by the bank. How many charges they are levying to you, and whether this charges is suitable for you to pay or not. Processing fees for the bank ranges from zero, mark my word, from 0 to 2 to 3%. Even many banks offer you other charges even. So you're paying that or not, you have to check that. Fourth is about the insurance. That what kind of insurance you are getting. Talking about insurance, there are two types of insurance mostly bank used to ask from you. One, friends, first insurance is insurance on the property or a stock you are mortgaging or hypothecating with the bank. That's okay. Second, about the life insurance cover. Life insurance cover, yes, it may be required, not it must required. It may be required because something happens to you, bank used to, I would say, take money from that insurance company. But 90% of the cases, bank used to misuse this. They just want to enjoy the high rate of commission passed by the insurance company to them. And I always used to say them that if it is required, then only take a life insurance because it's an optional one. And when you go and approach a bank for this loan, you can discuss at that time only, so that it will be easy to discuss. And even if I have already have some insurance with me, I can put a name of a bank to a banker on that part. Even that is allowed. And the last and fifth point, most important, is a foreclosure charges. That what kind of foreclosure charges is levied during my loan tenure. Means if I'm taking any kind of loan, whether charges is levied to it or not. Because what happens sometimes, friends, when we're taking any kind of loan, mostly in nationalized bank, foreclosure charges is lower or not there. But NBFCs and private bank used to keep that. So if you are need to pay that foreclosure charges, it is for how many tenure is there, how much foreclosure charges is there, you should know all these points. So these are the five golden points a person should consider, a borrower should understand while taking a kind of a loan. So this is the presentation from my side. It's already 12:15. 15 minutes, this house is open for any kind of question session. If you have friends, this side CA Samit Chaudhary. As I committed to you, I'll give you some gift at the end where you can understand something more. If you want to connect to me, my contact details are there mentioned below. And you can either scan this scanner or you can subscribe the channel, YouTube channel of mine, Fintech Chanakya, where you will get a knowledge on finance, taxation, cybersecurity, forensics, funds, and all the queries which we have discussed about the difference between overdraft and CC, drop and overdraft and all these stuff you will get easily over there. So the forum is open for you all to ask any kind of questions. It's already 12:15. Thank you, friends, for patience hearing.
Thank you very much, sir, for an informative session. The presentation was very nice. Now, the session is open for question and answers. I request the participants to either directly ask the question to the speaker or they can post their questions into the chat box. We kindly request the participants to please post their questions into the chat box.
Uh, can I have a question?
Please.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. Chaudhary Saab, very, very good afternoon and for, for presenting very lively and very elaborate presentation on this MSME.
Thank you,
Really,
sir.
MSME faces, as you rightly said, it is MSME is very important for our country because of the GDP share plus export plus the manpower what you have given. Really, it is quite impressive. And I have seen last about 1 decade, MSA has been growing very faster pace. There's good because of government good policy. Thanks our Prime Minister who has been very and they have realized even RBI realized also that they have to go for it because there is no other option because all the ancillary unit and small entrepreneurs, new entrepreneurs, they are being encouraged. My question is, of course, we are medium size MSME, and we face a lot of problem when it comes to the new contract. When we get a contract, we execute the contract, but unfortunately, from the corporate or from the government, the realization of invoice takes about 2 to 4 months. And that requires a lot of working capital. And when we keep on borrowing, so that will drain off your profitability. And how to calculate that we should not burn ourselves and our profit should not be drained off in that one. One question was this. Then other question which is indirect. Instead of getting a loan, because now IPO has come up with MSME. If we go for IPO, how is going to help? My third question is, more and more women enterprises are coming up, and government gives a lot of facility for especially special cater to them because their interest rate also slows down, and they can also borrow more money, and sometimes up to 5 lakh to 10 lakh they can borrow money without any interest from the bank. So these three things which were cropping in my mind, I thought I should ask from the horse's mouth, an expert like you. How do you take these three issues? Thank
Sir,
you.
thank you for appraising first of all. And sir, it means a lot from getting the words of appreciation from a senior like you. Talking about these three part. So first question was about the tendering, that when we are doing any kind of tenders and we get a relation of money at a later part with the government, I would say. And even with a large corporate, it used to happen. So what happens at that point of time, that yes, there is a need of a working capital. So first of all, the most important thing in such a business is a follow-up, that we used to make a strong follow-up with them. It should not be like that we are doing some recovery from them, but it's a request and a proper follow-up with them, so that we can come to know that when we are going to get our money. Second, obviously requirement of a money is there, then we can approach bank for a working capital need. And even such type kind of tender, if it's a very good company, the banker will offer you a loan on an unsecured part, means no any securities offered. Because and even there is a concept that is called a bill discounting, means once you give your bill to some bank or financial institute, will discount that and will give and case you that money. The time till then you are not getting a money from that person, you are going to enjoy that working capital facility out of that. So hope sir first point have been discussed. Second, about the SME IPO and IPO. Sir, as discussed during my session, that obviously IPO is kind of a loan only. But yes, I need to dilute my equity share, and I used to create much more owner of that company. And we can witness that all the companies which are right now a bigger player or larger player in the market who enjoys this IPO systems, or I would say whether it's an initial public offering or a further public offering to them. It plays a major role. It starts with a SME sector, that is a small or medium enterprise IPO, where the conditions is very much easy for a person to go for IPO. And right now, you would say since the market is a boom, but I won't actually say it's a boom. It's only an index which is moving up. We can witness that many quality stocks even came down to more than 20% from their 52-week high. But because of this IPOs, people are going to enjoy and leverage their business at a higher level without having a tension or without having a load of repaying the interest to them. They can either pay through dividend or some other manner with that, or an increasing of a market value of the shares or a value of the shares, I would say. So few of the conditions are you should have a profit in your business. There is a vintage of at least 2 years, and there is an expense ranging from 30 lakhs to 50 lakhs in bringing SME IPO. And many people will agree with that to me that even an IPO which is of very basic nature in today's period gets a higher amount of subscription during IPO launching. We have witnessed one of the largest IPO which closes day before yesterday, that is Hyundai IPO of 25,000 crores plus. And we have even witnessed that there is some organization of corporate in Delhi which is having a franchisee of a Yamaha company and having just only 2 centers, and that IPO having subscribed more than 70 times or something like that. So it's a world of finance. Once a person can leverage that, he can enjoy. Further, I would say a kind of MSME, another type is called a startup. If you are a new domain, you have guidelines and you can match up with the startup guidelines. You can even get a grant on that part, so person can utilize that. Coming to the third questions about the women entrepreneurs. Yes, even government, I would say, take active part for the benefit of a woman and for the women entrepreneurs, because today we know that in mostly in all the domain woman is doing a fantastic work. And then there was some concept before 3 or 4 decades that nari hai bechari, but now it's not so. नारी अब नहीं रही है बेचारी, वो है सब पे भारी, एंड वो हमारे साथ काम करती है कंधे से कंधे मिला के. So that is not at all required on that part, but yes, many benefits are available to the women entrepreneurs. And so I have even seen that women are included in their husband business. They're having a major stake, they're getting benefit about the loan amount, security offered, lower interest rate, even more subsidy, I would say, sir. Even more subsidy they are getting, and many benefits are available to them. So yes, sir, thank you for asking such a questions. Hope I have replied all the 3 questions satisfactory to you all.
Yes, Samiji. It is really, you have touched upon very well. And I'm sure the audience will also get input on this and they will work forward. And only this regarding this Indian share market is more sentimental. And it has a lot of external forces which also plays important. So that's why people sometimes lose money, sometimes gain money. And that's the biggest problem. And another thing which I would like to advise MSME, if they are going for IPO, they have to be very transparent and they have to be very fair with the shareholders, because that confidence has to be developed. Unless that confidence is developed that they are going to get their money and they are going to get good dividends and their money is secured, so this will not move so fast. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. If I'm talking about that, we are even a statutory auditor for some listed company, and we know that how much transparency is required during this period, which is the most important thing. Because if someone offer you a company's, let's say, give me 2 examples about Reliance, Tata, and Adani. in which company's shares you are going to invest. We know that last week there is a demise of Sri Ratanji Tata, one of the person who was loved the most by the Indian national and even from the global people. But we know if it comes about the transparency, safety of the money, and even security, it comes about the Tata only. So once you develop that in people's mind, it is going to play a major role. Second thing, my father and even in that lecture always used to say that share market always tell you one thing, friends. तू पैसे अपनी इच्छा से लगा पर निकाल मेरी इच्छा से तो ही तू कमाएगा. Patience is only the key in the market. Money always flow from active participant to passive participant in the market. So enjoy that thing. Thank you all. If any other questions, I'm happy to tell friends.
Yeah, good afternoon. I'm Anand. I have one question.
Yes, Anandji,
Any
please.
participants, anyone if having questions, please post it in the chat box.
I was having one question that in case a person wanting to start a manufacturing business into another state, the place of his main origin. So, what all the uh, facilities and what all things has to be taken care? Can he do or not?
So he can surely do. There's never a no in any business, to be frank. Second thing is that if you are planning to do any business in other state, you have to first of all understand the state laws over there, because central laws is always same for everywhere. But considering about the state law, you have to consider that whether any special benefit is allowed available to you in that state, that can be possible. The culture of the people over there, because you have to deal with the employees over there, the labor class over there, being a manufacturing unit, you have to consider how the government and the officer plays the role over there, because it plays a major role for your business. Kindly note, I was referring to some comment on Instagram that some businessmen said that it was the worst decision of my life to open or start a business in Bihar. I don't know what is the actual reason for that, but just telling you that he has started his business in some other domain. We have even seen that Gift City has been started in Gujarat, and I'm from Ahmedabad. Gift City is nearby, so many companies come in Gift City, and they even enjoy that thing. So consider 3 to 4 things, sir. Tax benefit allowed. What is the environment and culture over there? Third, what benefit you are going to get if you are not doing the business in your state and going to some other state, because everything will be new for you. Kindly note, sir. And the fourth and the most important for you is how you are going to survive over there. Else you can send goods from, let's say if I'm in Gujarat, I want to do some service in Karnataka or let's say Maharashtra, I can send my goods over there if these benefits are not available and not sufficient for me to work on. Hope it suffices, sir.
Okay, and can we in different state that MSME allows the loan in that scenario, or it is state specific?
No, sir, MSME loan, the any kind of loan I have talked to you right now, for example, I would say Stand Up India, CGTMSE, this is a nation base only. It has been this, all this policy are from the not from the state government, but from the central government. It is allowed to you. But I would suggest to have some consultant for easy going for you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
very
sir.
much.
Yes. Well, friends.
Well, sir, if there are not any questions, shall we move ahead with the next session? That is,
Yes, ma'am, it's already 12:30. Surely we can do.
yeah, so as you can see on the screen, ICS is pleased to provide you with all its research and development, integrated management systems, including QMS, EMS, and OSHAs, excellence in education management, iOS made easy in Gujarati language. These are also available in Marathi, Telugu, and Hindi. For reading any of the above books, please contact the following person displayed on the screen. Feedback, kindly fill the feedback forms Please register on the website of sadgunsang.org. Go in and log in and please share your feedback. Thank you for being a part of Sadgunsang on the topic Unlocking MSME Growth, a deep dive into the loan opportunities and financial industry. Please feel free to contact us. We'll further proceed with the closing ceremony.